What's up, Tech Gang? In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the pros and cons of the new Moto G Power 5G 2023. Stay tuned. What's up, Tech Gang? Hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. Obviously, we have the new Moto G Power right here for 2023. Honestly, I've been having a good time with this device. So as far as like factoring in the pros and cons, I've really liked this device so far. This actually retails for $299 right now, and if you guys do want to pick this up, I'll leave a link in the description down below. But let's go ahead and start off with the pros first. All right, so I'm sure you guys already know the first pro is going to be the most obvious, and that is going to be the battery life. So this is advertised as 38 hours of battery life, and it is going to last you through the day for sure, and I believe you can go even 2 days on this device. This is about the same as the last Moto G Power. That one definitely couldn't go for 3 days if you guys were heavily using it, but if you guys use this moderately, you guys definitely can get through 2 days of battery life on this device. So definitely decent battery life. One thing that I didn't like was that we only had a 10-watt charger inside of the box, and this is capable of 15 watts, but I actually just switched out my charger, so we are charging at 15 watts now. It isn't the fastest in the world, but I think most people are going to be okay with that. Our second pro is going to be that this has great RAM and great storage. So we have 6 gigabytes of RAM inside of this device. We're going to talk about the processor experience very soon as well, so don't worry about that. This has the Dimensity 930 from MediaTek, but we have 6 gigabytes of RAM in this, and the base storage on this device is 256 gigabytes. Weirdly, I know that's usually double what a $300 phone usually gets, so it's great that we get 256 out of the box. Some flagship devices like Apple devices, you have to pay so much more money to get that high of a storage, so it's great that we have that on here. We also have an SD card slot right here, so we can obviously put our SIM card in there as well as a micro SD card as well, so it's great that we have the option for expandable storage. But the RAM and the storage was definitely pretty impressive about this device. Our third pro is obviously going to be what people are looking for in a Motorola device, and that is going to be software experience. So you guys are going to have a great software experience on this. It is very user friendly. So for anybody that's going from Apple and needs like a budget or mid-range phone, this is definitely going to be a good device for you. This has a very light skin over it. It's basically stock Android. That's why most people go with Motorola. So if you guys are going from an older Apple device and you guys are going with an Android device, this is very, very user friendly. So it's very easy to use. We have some stuff over here like Moto Actions, Moto Secure. We have our gestures. We have the chop for flashlight. So I really love those types of features. Obviously, holding on the screen with 3 fingers very easily takes a screenshot. We can change our themes, our fonts, our icon shapes. We have the peak display, which is basically Motorola's version of always on display. So I really do like the software experience on this. I feel like for anybody that's even going from Apple to Android, you guys are going to have a great user experience on this. As I said before, very, very user friendly and very, very smooth so far. I have had some hiccups, don't get me wrong, and that's going to be due to that MediaTek processor, but honestly, it's not been that bad. It's definitely better than the previous model for sure. The fourth pro on this device has to be something pretty obvious, but it's going to be the display. So we have a 405 ppi, so a pretty pixel dense display, and we finally have a full HD display. So no more 720p on the Moto G Power 5G. We have a full HD display, not to mention instead of 90 hertz like we had on the last model, we have 120 hertz. So for anybody that's used to 120 hertz or not even used to it, this is going to be a very, very smooth phone. Number 5, and I know this is kind of a weird one, but the fingerprint sensor is so good on this device. It is so accurate. It's honestly really satisfying just getting inside of the phone with this, but look how quick this is. Look at that. Look at that, just tapping it. Honestly, under $300 or around the $300 price tag, I feel like the only other phone that could keep up with this fingerprint sensor would have to be the Pixel 6a, but this has an excellent fingerprint sensor. I'm super happy they put it on the right side this year. I know for all of the previous years, actually, up until last year, the Motorola emblem used to be the fingerprint sensor. So it's great that we have kind of a more minimalistic back on here, and a very, very cool fingerprint sensor on the power button right here. So this doubles as your power button as well, but very accurate, Very smooth, very satisfying. And that brings us into our 6th Pro, and that's going to have to be the design language. Obviously, if you guys don't want fingerprints on your device and you guys want to obviously protect your device, put a case on this. But if you guys still want to enjoy the beautiful mineral black or the other colorway, the bright white, you guys are definitely going to want a clear coat case because this is a nice looking phone. Honestly, the last few years it's kind of been redundant with the releases of the designs on the Moto G Power, and I'm sure you guys have known that. They've kind of looking similar to every other device that's on their lineup, the Moto G Play, the Moto G Stylus. So it's really nice that we're getting such a different look on the camera module this year. And I feel like that's the biggest defining factor for phones is a camera module. Super happy that we don't have any other information on this, like an IMEI number or some other brand or whatever. We just have straight Motorola emblem in the middle, a beautiful mineral black, and we have that sexy new camera module right there. But those are the pros that I have on this device thus far. We're going to get into the cons very quickly. Really not too many cons on this device. If you guys have used this device, let me know your cons and your pros in the comment section down below. I'd really appreciate that. But getting into the first con, and I feel like this is going to be the most obvious one for anybody that's wanting to pick up this device, and that's going to be that we only have one major OS update on this device. So we have Android 13, which is great out of the box. Great that Motorola did that. But it looks like we're only getting one major OS update. And it kind of sucks because I really do like Motorola devices and I like their software experience. So it really sucks when you see devices like Samsung, like the Galaxy A54, for example, and the Galaxy even A34, a device that's €50 more than this device. And that device, I believe, is out of states as well, so you can't get it in the US. I mean, you can get it, but it's not going to have all of the bands that the US has. But it kind of sucks that those devices get like 4 years of major OS updates and like 5 security patches, or 5 years of security patches rather, and we only get one major OS update on the Moto G Power 5G. If anything changes, obviously I'm going to let you know. I feel like Motorola should definitely support their devices more, but it just kind of feels like they're leaving the market soon. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but usually when devices don't sell that well, they tend to not give you guys too good of software updates and stuff. But only one major OS update. I'm not sure how many years we're going to have security patches for. But that's up in the air right now. If I get more information on that, I'll definitely let you guys know. The second con about this device has to be the minor performance inconveniences. Now, I feel like the first time that I used this device, when I popped into YouTube and when I was going through and swiping through this little news feed and stuff like that, there were some hiccups. I'm not going to lie, the 120 hertz refresh rate makes it very obvious when there's a hiccup on here because it's such a smooth refresh rate. So sometimes when you're scrolling, and this is really only when you're scrolling I've had so far, I haven't been kicked off apps or anything, or the phone hasn't randomly restarted like a Samsung device, it kind of glitches sometimes. So when you're scrolling through a certain application or you're going through some news feeds online, it can hiccup and stop for a second and then start scrolling again. So it's not the worst thing in the world. I still think this is a beautiful device, and I still think the performance is decent so far. Make sure to stay tuned for the gaming review on this. It's not a big con though. It's really, really not a big con. I just wanted to add this in here just for anybody that wanted to know if there was any glitching at all. And the third con on this device, and this honestly kind of sucks because a lot of people need this on their device now. I don't need it. I hardly use it honestly because your cards you tap to pay and stuff, but there is no NFC on this device, so you can't hold your credit cards on this device. There's no way of tapping to pay with your phone if you forget your wallet or whatever. So that kind of sucks. Honestly, don't do that just because of like security risks and stuff like that. But yeah, you can't put your cards in your phone. There's no NFC on here. Maybe a big deal for somebody, not really for others, but no NFC. And the last is obviously going to be that there's other options around this price tag. And if you guys usually watch my videos, I've talked about the Pixel 6a a lot, and the Pixel 6a is $299. If it's not, it may be a tiny bit more now, but they had a sale where it was $299, and I think it is still on Amazon for $299. And obviously, we have used Samsung devices like the Galaxy S21 FE, so if you guys want to go the used route, those devices are out there. But you know, the Pixel 6a, is up for $299 right now, and that's definitely the direct competitor of this device. If you guys don't like completely stock Android devices, or you guys don't like the battery life on the Pixel devices, because I know some people have issues with them, especially the Pixel 6a, this is still a decent device. But there are other competitors to the Moto G Power 5G that I just needed to make known. So those are my pros and cons thus far on the Moto G Power 2023. I really like this device so far, and I feel like anybody that is a Motorola fan, I feel like you guys are going to have a great time with this device. It's definitely changed over the years, and I like to have some more use with this device and see how it goes. I might do like a day in the life or something like that with this phone as well. But let me know if you guys have any questions in the comment section down below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you guys want to be a part of the Tech Gang. But this has been Safon from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.